trying to get noise. There we go. There we go. What is happening, Hauppauge High School community? It is October 9th, 2020. This is a morning meeting shot in the afternoon on a Friday. We're going to kind of keep things logistic. It's also a week in the review meeting. Bottom line is we have to figure out what our video flow is, which videos take what form or whatever. But this will be a little bit longer form video, about 20 minutes or so. And I got my crew here to say what's up. Miss Joy Ferrara, go for it.
Hauppauge High School, it is great to be with you. It is so great to see each of your faces every day, high school students. We are excited that you are back, and we are excited for what these next weeks have in store for all of us at Hauppauge High School. It was a great Spirit Week, thanks to Student Council, and we're just looking forward to seeing you each and every day.
Nice. Christy Pagliari.
Good morning, Hauppauge High School. So excited to be here. It's finally fall. The weather's getting a little cool outside, and just really love seeing everyone coming into school every day smiling, and even we can tell you're smiling through your mask just with your bright eyes. So we're excited that we got through the whole first month of school, and here we are.
Excellent. And J-Dubs.
Hello, Hauppauge High School. I cannot say anything any better than Joy or Christy. They said it very well, so I will second what both of them said. And we love seeing you every day. And we're so happy we're able to do this and have you all in school.
Nice. Excellent. Well, there's your greetings for the day. I'm going to jump into some logistical stuff and then turn it over for the correspondences. All right, so here's where we're at. We're doing an excellent job on the whole of students and staff wearing masks, adhere to our expectations. So masks should be on. Let's take a couple of looks at some of our staff on here. I thought you guys were not going to wear them how you're supposed to wear them. There you go. So let's look at a couple of common things. Mrs. Farrar, you want to start talking for a second so I can show an example of what we're seeing sometimes?
Yeah, sure. So here's my neck mask. I like to pull it down so I can talk so people can hear me. What do you think, Mr. Cook?
Yeah, I think we got to make sure that it's over your nose and your mouth. Over your nose.
Oh, like this?
There it is. Mrs. Pagliari. You got well, we've seen this a few times. And this, Mrs. Pagliari, can you talk? Because I wanted the video to actually record you. You got to unmute yourself for a second.
She can't see herself. She can't see the mute button.
Pagliari, unmute yourself. We've seen this a few times.
Does this work? Does this work?
It works for the spreading of illness, but you do crash into things commonly when you do this. Believe it or not,
hard to learn algebra that way too, right?
It is. Students and parents, we've seen that a few times. So we're dealing with that. And Mr. Whitehorse, go for it.
Yeah, so this is the hang off the ear look that we see sometimes.
Great earring.
Yeah, I just finished eating maybe, and I'm just talking to my friends through the computer, and I forget to put the mask back on. It's just hanging off. It's like an AirPod, but no good music is coming out of it.
Yeah. So what we say a lot at Hauppauge High School is to wear your mask over your nose, over your mouth, and keep it there as much as possible. We built in some breaks. We have students really having some time with masks off. And bottom line, I think our mask culture is pretty strong. And just want to give a shout out to everybody because I think it has been pretty strong. And where we've had to make some adjustments to it, students have responded really positively. And I will say this, every single interaction we've had about correcting mask wearing behavior has been received well. So kudos to students as they have progressed quite well with our mask wearing culture. Second piece is in the courtyard and other spaces, we are really impressing upon students that they need to be 6 feet apart. I don't know if you can see the courtyard from here, but in the courtyard, we have dots in various spots. Those really are the places where students should stand while they're outside. When they're standing on a dot, if the people around them are also standing on dots, the mask can come off. They can have their break from masks, and really been impressed on the whole how people are handling that. The other thing is it's getting chilly. Today was probably the coldest day of the year, I would say, and people should just know that they need to wear sweatshirts to school. Our hoodie culture needs to be strong this year. Our flannel culture might need to be strong, but we need to make sure that we have the layers that we need to go outside. I say that, and wore a short sleeve shirt today and needed to make sure that I adjusted my wear today because it was cold. So, all right, from here. So a couple other things that I want to bring your attention to. We have the website is updated. We shared a little bit about that last time. So let me just present for a second and kind of walk you through that. My entire screen. Here we are. Boom. So great. I go to Google. I go to Hauppauge High School. All right. I get the web page comes up, and then I get into the Hauppauge High School site. You get a quick look at the fist bumps. So how we missed fist bumps. And on the left-hand side, it takes you to the website dedicated to this school year. And you can really access a lot of resources there. So we have our videos. We'll publish these later on. We have pictures that are getting updated here as well. We have SEL resources, so some really interesting stuff related to student resources, related to social emotional health, some stuff on there that we're trying to make of high quality. We have a resources tab with a college application process there. The high school library, high school public library, or Hauppauge Public Library rather, and some other resources. We have links to all of our docs that we put out here. And the idea here is to make it a one-stop shop. So we communicate to you via Parent Square, and then you can follow up on the website if you need to. We have EcoWatch Studios links, and if you click onto EcoWatch, you get all of our announcements kind of in here, which is cool. And then there is announcements tab as well. Which is really good stuff. And I'm going to include in my message out about this video and announce the link to this announcements page as well. And then finally, you have Horizons newsletter, which comes out weekly, so far the 4 here. So you can kind of access everything via the high school there. All right, so I think that covers, how do I stop presenting? Where am I? Stop sharing. There we go.
You should click stop sharing at the bottom. Well done.
Joe, your feedback's always spot on.
You should use Google Meet more.
I actually feel like I was way ahead, and now over the last month or so, haven't really been using it. So, Joe, guess what? You just filled your calendar with 6 more meetings next week. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
All right. So what's coming up next week? On the 14th, we have the SAT. It'll be a virtual learning for many of our students, and some students in the building taking the SAT. Then a couple weeks after that, on the 29th, we have the PSAT for our 10th and 11th graders. On November 6th, the quarter ends. So we're less than a month out from the end of the first quarter, and we've been able to move forward a lot of learning that's been really impressive. Also next week, and we've started to see this a little bit, clubs have been meeting a little bit during the day. We'll start kind of really making that a part of our practice moving forward. And then we will have an announcement that kind of comes out in coordination with the launch of this video about sports and beginning intramural training sessions, potentially as early as next week, but coaches will reach out specifically with details related to that. But that's exciting. We're excited to launch that. I'll be sending out a letter that was crafted heavily by Mr. Butler, our athletic director, and myself to make sure that we are, making sure the expectations of what these sessions look like are known. And I think that's it from my space. Which was much longer than I anticipated doing. So let's jump into the correspondences. Christy, what does the weather look like? Maybe what does the weather look like for the weekend? Go for it.
It's going to be really nice. It's going to be in the 60s, partly cloudy most of the weekends. So it's a good opportunity to get outside, get some fresh air, put down the devices. I know a lot of us have been spending a lot more time on devices, even though before that we wanted to try to limit device time. And I think we've actually increased it. So put it down, get outside. It's going to be a beautiful 3-day weekend.
Here we go. And did you look up, anyway, I'll ask a funny question that only Christy's going to know. What are you going to wear this weekend, Christy? What are you bringing for the kids this weekend?
Okay, so we're going pumpkin picking in Boston, and we're going to wear my son's Buzz Lightyear costume because we don't really see how well Halloween is going to work out this year. So we're going to pumpkin pick to infinity and beyond.
That's amazing. Awesome. Joy, all right, what happened in the world today?
So this is really very interesting. Today is National Leif Eriksen Day. So here's a fun fact. My mom was born in Norway, and Leif Eriksen was a Norwegian explorer way back when in the year 1000. Leif Eriksen landed in North America and did a little exploration there and left some great Norwegian food behind. In 1925, the Norwegian American centennial, President Calvin Coolidge gave recognition to Leif Eriksen as the discoverer of America due to research by Norwegian American scholars such as all these great guys whose names I can't pronounce, but we're going back to Viking days. So in 1963, Leif Eriksen Day was celebrated nationwide, and so that is what we're holding on to today. And guess what? The other day is today is National Moldy Cheese Day. Believe it or not, there is a celebration of moldy cheese. Penicillin comes from mold, and we always know that if you eat something standing up,
it doesn't count.
Yeah. Over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Joy. So today we're going to venture into the world of sports with the Jort Report. So first I start off with what is going on in sports now. There's a lot of things going on today. It is Friday. It is October 9th, and tonight we have Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Game 5. That's for Chris. Chris, who do you think is going to win? Do you think the Lakers are going to finish it off tonight?
I do. I think so. I'm actually really excited about tonight, Joe. I'm going to allow my 8-year-old to stay up to watch the Yankee game and the NBA Finals.
Wow.
My wife doesn't know that yet, so we'll see if they ask me on Tuesday if whether or not we were able to execute this plan. But I'm excited about tonight. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and they're wearing their Black Mamba jerseys, so they're planning on ending it tonight.
They haven't lost while wearing those.
Yeah, so that's a lot of pressure they're putting on themselves. And speaking of pressure, tonight is Game 5 of the American League Division Series, where the Yankees and the Rays are playing for the right to play in the American League Championship Series against the Houston Astros. The Yankees had a really big win last night. It was not looking good for a couple days. So we'll see how tonight goes. Garrett Cole is pitching, and this is what they got him for as I get a knock on the door. But I am going to truck through this report anyway. And also, news came across my phone that all of the New York Jets staff and players were sent home today because there was a positive COVID case. So we'll see how that develops and affects this weekend. The Jets probably were not going to play particularly well on Sunday, so this might actually help them out in that regard and push off the loss to next week, maybe. So that's what's coming up and going on in sports. I was kind of hoping Ruthie would be on this call, Ruthie Pincus, because on this day in history, the New York Yankees beat the Cincinnati Reds in 1961 in the World Series, 4-1. And I know she's a huge Reds fan, so I wanted to just throw that out there. And since we're in close to World Series time, it used to be the World Series around now, but when they added new playoff rounds, it kind of pushed the World Series back. I wanted to ask you a trivia question, and this is for all three of you. And we know the Yankees have 27 World Championships, so the most all time. Can you name the other 4 that make up the top 5 in all-time World Series wins?
Cardinals, Giants, Red Sox.
You have Cardinals, Giants, and Red Sox. That's 3 of the 4.
Mets.
No, the Mets are not very close. Well, they have 2.
Phillies.
No, the Phillies, I believe, are the same as the Mets. They have 2 that I can remember.
Pirates?
No, the Pirates are close. They would actually be just behind the Dodgers, who are 7th, so they'd be 7th. The A's are the correct answer.
The A's?
Oakland?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
No.
Athletics.
Woo.
Now, the stat is including them in their previous cities, so that the A's used to be in Philly, but when the franchise, the Athletics, are number 3 all time with 9, tied with Boston, who also have 9, and the New York/San Francisco Giants have 8, and the Cardinals have 11. The Yankees have 27. So everyone has some catching up to do.
Let's go Yankees.
Yeah. Let's hope in our next meeting we're in the middle of the American League Championship Series with the Astros. We'll see.
That sounds good.
That's it for sports. Normally I would pass it back to Joy, but I'm just going to say back to you, Chris. Go for it.
Oh, I screwed up the order.
It's all right.
All right.
Took way over his time anyway.
I did. So let's move quickly into this. All the inspiring Jets information has me really thinking about this question. What is the most inspiring thing you've seen this year related to Hauppauge High School? That'll be the core question. And I'll start this. I just think, it's when you're extraordinarily stressed and everybody here, there's a level of stress that's there. You can choose to kind of point your stress outward and take it out on people around you, or have some grace about it. And I think on the whole, like certainly there's some situations where we're running into people being less than kind, and then we process through that and we're working it through. But on the whole, I'm just really inspired with the grace that people are affording to one another right now, and the way in which we're handling stress, not pointing fingers at people, and really doing a nice job of kind of just being kind to one another. So that's where I'm at. That's really inspired by that. Christy, what do you think?
I'm really inspired by the opening of school and how everyone brought to the table this positive attitude towards all the changes, the resiliency of the students, the teachers, the understanding from the parents. We're implementing ideas and things and creating structures that have never had to be in place before. And I think just everyone's really acclimating really well. We've had to make a few minor changes here and there to, increase and continuously improve our safety protocols about things that, in the past we might not have ever had to think about. And the kids and the teachers and just everyone is just very understanding and accommodating. And every time I talk to a parent on the phone about a question or their concern, they understand and they're supportive of what we're trying to do. And they truly are appreciative that their kids are able to be here 5 days a week. The teachers adapting to synchronous learning and the students adapting to synchronous learning has really made it very seamless. And that's incredible that they were able to do this so quickly, transitioning to block scheduling, just so many positive movements. And it really started off to a very strong year. So I'm thinking that we're going to have a great year.
Agreed. Day 25 today. Did I say that earlier or something? Day 26 today. Agreed on the beginning. Very strong. Joy for Rara.
So I'm super impressed of the courage that everyone in this building is displaying each and every day. I think we are all totally committed to making sure that each and every person in this building is safe. I'm impressed with the way that students are complying with our mask rule, and even when they're on a mask break, they're really understanding about being 6 feet apart and what that looks like during some rec time at lunch. And what is super impressive, I will say, is that on a BC day, this building serves 1,000 students lunch at the same time within an hour or less. And it is so impressive how the ladies in the kitchen have really come together and just kind of are learning how to streamline that. And so I think the level of commitment that we have to all wanting to be here and continuing to be here is super impressive, and it's very uplifting.
Excellent. Totally agree. Jay to the Dubs.
Yeah, I think all of you have said it pretty perfectly. It's the drawback of going last is that you pretty much all encompassed what I would want to say. So it's just been so inspiring to see the not just universal acceptance of where we are and what we need to stay open, but the ownership of it. Everyone, it seems like students, staff, everyone is taking part in helping keep us open so that we can, have our students here, have our staff here, and do it in a safe way. That's really been the most inspiring thing. You hear of other stories, and I think we've been doing really well as a team here in Hauppauge.
Totally agree, guys. And kudos to you guys. I know you've been doing a lot to keep things moving. And kudos to really everybody that's putting in a lot of really important effort and taking one day at a time. Teachers, directors, TAs, and our entire operational support team, which is a pretty extensive team. Just really, really great job so far. All right, guys. One thing before we launch into next week, on Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be putting out a video for our an SEL conversation. So last year we did these Wellness Wednesday conversations, and they were talking about just people's mental health. So we'll have this group plus some others back in for a conversation early next week. We will be inviting James Gallagher to that conversation to kind of pick that series back up and begin to kind of talk more directly about our plans to support and kind of understand where everybody's at from a social and emotional lens. So without taking up more of your time, hopefully you watch till the very end. It is October 9th. Peace out, Hot Pod. Have a great long weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great weekend.